making sure you use and prepare a lot of those utility to start, especially when you're starting on the T side. And it's just going to be a lot of timings because I expect the crosshairs of CLG to be on point. I expect their retakes to be on point, and you just need to get yourself on the set, get that bomb down. I mean, look at the aggression already from the side of Emmy, getting a little bit of those picks here, gathering information, just bit of chip damage, and it's already on the other side. It's Goose Breather, Goose for one, and just like that, it's already a back and forth, down to 2 on this side of Tourmaline.
Yeah, and you said that a great chance for CLG, they could push up aggressively, especially on their defensive side, right? And if Tourmaline can take advantage of that and start mowing down anyone on CLG and just let them overextend, that might be a good chance for Tourmaline to find some early wins here. But looks like, though, we did see CLG push out, but not for the better of Tourmaline. It's going to be down a body, though no water, and Jundia still left alive here. Relative approximation found out by Kelsey. The rotate's been called to go up tower here. And push out with the smokes. Kelsey's ready to strike. Doesn't get the wide swing. Instead, it's a double swing coming out from Tourmaline's side. And Kelsey pushes in. Good to find some chip damage, but not enough to find a confirmation. That's Julie's job. She's up above, but Jundia gets traded out instead. Good round for CLG, but it was, you know, there was some economic damage, right? For Tourmaline's side.
Yeah, I like the idea behind that rotation over onto B side, the swing together, try to get a trade. Unfortunately, the rotation from CLG Red was just fast enough that by that time they got on site, they felt a bit stuck there because you have a player by double doors, a player sitting in that little hole on window. And again, it's going to be a quick push mid control once again, trying to get that cat push. Oh, but that is a nasty kill from Diana through that smoke, and Goose Breeder even cleaning up over on this ramp here. It is just a bit of a mow down with that M or looking for the final kill. 1 HP. There it is.
You blink and you miss it for round number 2. I mean, where do you even begin with our round 1, right? Just it feels like 1 by 1 Tourmaline. Granted, it is 2 rounds in, but it feels like Tourmaline a lot of the time just are pushing in 1 by 1. The only time I think we at least saw was the double swing was at the end of round number 1, and well, Julie was there to help collapse with Kelsey. There wasn't really much to say. But this is going to be a group-wide push for Tourmaline. This might be their chance to go for those double swings again and catch Emmy off of timing. But no, that doesn't quite happen at all. Goose Breeder instead finds the opening pick in. The molly off is going to separate Tourmaline away from CLG Red. So no push is available just yet until it goes down. Emmy, good for 1, makes that 2, a double, possibly a triple. There we go. Diana's there to help clear it out. 1 kill against CLG is fairly good, but Thoria is the only one to find some success. Everyone else, or Tourmaline falls 1 by 1 again.
I'm curious to see if they'll continue this. So I think the mindset right now on the side of Tourmaline is to just hyper push onto a site, right? It's all 5 of the players rotating out, and like we're saying, okay, I was about to say maybe they need to have a bit of a change here. It's going to be a little hard to do this knowing that they're on another save, but trying to find those picks when they're pushing through like that as a team, it's going to be a little difficult if you can't expend, or there needs to be some sort of patience when you know that CLG Red is locking you in with all of that utility, because they just ran through that Molotov over through the double doors, and that was an easy pick off and kill. And then, like you said, it was a 1 by 1 push into the double door, so they just immediately got picked off, even when they had like a similarity in guns, right? Yeah. So right now it's going to be a bit of a slow play. It's nothing but pistols against the long-range guns that CLG Red has. It's going to be a bit tough.
Yeah, that's nerve-wracking, contesting Diana there. A lot of audacity coming out from Thoria. 2 missed shots from Diana. She's not quite invincible when it comes to her aim, but there's not really many places you can go left here for your Thoria kind of... Oh, never mind! She can go to heaven instead! Diana toying with the little mini devil there. Gets 1, misses another shot. 1 for 5, I believe. There is Jundi up above. They're trying to distract Diana. But what's the plot here for Tourmaline? The rest of the squad is up on top of tower. They're waiting to use util and push in all at once, distract Diana, but again, Julie's there at the sentry turret, Kelsey too to get a triple. And again, we can see the gears turning for Tourmaline, Sajidine, but the execution's not there.
Yeah, it was a bit of a toy, and perhaps the ploy was try to distract them mid, see if we can force them to push out, to push that rotation. But looking at and staring at what CLG Red were doing, when you're just looking at the minimap, nobody moved. Literally nobody moved, and everybody held their spot. And
oh, Emmy,
this is where we're seeing their aggression. The complete opposite side right now is that they're getting pinchered, and that is Tourmaline again on the back. They're kind of stuck up on mid as they're getting flushed out with that utility. As you see the rest of CLG Red pushing up through the borders a bit, it's still very controlled. It's still very disciplined, and I really like that for them. Absolutely.
Look how impressive this is. No. Good double kill from Emmy. Sure, she gets traded out, but the damage has been done. I like the change of tempo too, right? Because normally you would see those eco rounds. A team like CLG Red could normally just push up aggressively on there, but instead choosing to play patient and then push up against the aggression, like the full buy of Tourmaline. Yeah. That does a lot of psychological damage right there, because you would think the only time you'd be able to contest CLG Red is with those rifles, but if you're not able to win when you're on T side and you have someone aggressing against you that quickly, it really makes me worried about these pushes.
Absolutely, and honestly, like I really like what CLG Red has been doing here so far. Is they're this is a common phrase like I like to use. They're playing to win. To them, who they're matched up against is not really relevant. They will play and bring their A game. There's no trolling or goofing around, not yet anyway. And we're seeing a very disciplined CLG Red facing up against Tourmaline. And this is why they are... I probably need to find like a better analogy, like the Goliaths of this NA region right now.
It's an expedition, it feels like, for Tourmaline, right? Again, nothing really to lose here. Everything to gain if they find rounds or wins or even strats off of CLG. But again, just pushing through. Not really much to say. Rox is the last one alive. And again, all just a little bit of poking and prodding. A lot of discovery on the side of CLG too, to see what makes Tourmaline, kind of almost click.
Yeah.
On the attacking side. But Rox is still left alive. Bomb right nearby. Could be a good chance to pick it up, but I think with the smoke going down, it's pretty triangulated where she is. Oh, could be Kelsey using that grenade for spacing, forcing Rox to push up into the immediate left. Could get mowed down, but no, instead finding one. The escape is there. The Molly barely missing off a timing against Rox. The rotate around, she's double mollied off, effectively trapped. She doesn't die. Smoke inhalation, I don't know what will take her down, but no, she's able to survive. Oh, but for how much longer? Again, the swings, the postures from Emmy, so good. And again, it's just like CLG, they haven't quite figured out Tourmaline yet, even if they're 6-0, but they're still trying to figure out what those key parts to unlock are, because they don't want to risk any eco damage either.
I mean, okay, so if we're looking at this, it's going to be a pause, and if you're Tourmaline, like trying to figure out a bit of the adjustments here, I almost feel like a lot of their plan executes. It just needs to be played with a bit faster pace and timing, and more gusto. That's I like that's a good way of saying it. Just because like we saw them trying to make their way onto Cat as a team, like all 5 of them present there. There's a smoke out. They had a double boost like coming up, but the execute itself was a bit so slow that it just allowed CLG Red to flank them and pincher them, so they got picked up from the backside. So you're either going to have to do a fast cat execute, have enough utility to be able to pull that off, or something like this, you burn through some of that molly, burst through that fire, and make sure, like we're seeing it now, they're watching a bit of their flank, making sure they're not getting pinchered this time around, and hit those timings. This is going to be a little difficult. It is pistols only in their hands. Not impossible, though, if they can actually timing this, because it's going to be 5 against the 2 holding down that double doors for now. Oh, that is a nasty nade. Jundi is down to pretty much like 7 HP. Ouch.
Yeah, I know Emmy is going to go hunting, fishing. And again, this is what Tourmaline are waiting for. Just that aggressive push. Trying to single out, in this case, it would be Emmy. She doesn't overextend, though. That's the important thing. She's able to preserve her life. She has the AK-2 in case someone strafes out. Dreamstorm's not going to take the chance. In fact, she's trapped now. She can't rotate at all. Only pistols in hand. The playbook, though, it doesn't feel like to me Tourmaline have like a set strat book except for the early round. I think a lot of this is kind of poking and just playing as they go for this mid round. 30 seconds left, and the execute still isn't quite clear. It's leaning towards B for the smokes and double doors. Goose Beater's forced to push off here. This is really interesting. It's a good roundabout way to get the B site. Goose Beater's ready, though, like a sentry turn once again, good for 2 before eventually the rest of the team collapses, and now Dreamstorm, good to escape. Only down to her pistol, and there's not much room. Only Goose Breeder's gone down, and that was after a trade of 3. She might be able to single out at least one bottom of CT, but no, again. Oh, she is! Good for Dreamstorm. Okay, things are looking positive. Flashes out, but she's not able to pop in time. Instead, Die goes for the pop instead.
I almost felt like I wish they went short. They went up cat instead with that, just because they had... Dreamstorm sitting over in double doors over at A long, where once that distraction comes through, she could probably have wrapped up around the flank. But, you know, that's my playbook, not theirs, and hindsight is hard. But again, even with the balanced rifles, the op in hand, we're already seeing a quick 2 deaths on the side of 3 deaths now on the side of Tourmaline. It's hard. I can't even do the math. It's always every time I say something, it's like, oh yeah, one more.
Just feels like in the beginning there's like a set plan that Tourmaline has, and then once the opening pick goes down, it's anyone's game. Rox, though, is able to always be the last one alive. I like the way she plays. She's a little bit more measured than everybody else. She's good for a pick. She's had a lot of these first bloods, and oftentimes it feels like she's the last one alive to do it. Oh, but it's 8-0 now, Sag. 8-0. Like you said, Glavith, David and Goliath here.
Yeah.
we need to say Glavith move from Tourmaline to really bring it home. Needs to evolve.
For real. And Sag is my name, not the Eva. I'm just kidding. I thought you were. I was like, are you saying his name? Or are you reacting to that? It's so sad.
We gotta praise for Tourmaline.
I mean, we're seeing this again, right? Again, like, look, even through all of that utility, it died good again with that op spam, just finding that kill. This is a quick boost over on short. Okay, we're seeing this. These no Goose Breeder is always this living turret over here. Still has that Molly.
Oh, she's
ready
set up
to go.
She's got that util. Molly gets phased out. Goose Breeder. She's looking good to find it. She's extending over the smoke. Only one's pushed by. Keep an eye on this. She's waiting for that wide swing. There we go. The flash goes down. Forced to reposition. Emmy's there for the back lines, preparing for Goose Breeder, setting her up, buttering up the play, but no, she's forced to back off again. She can't get a clear shot. It's allowing more time for everyone else to rotate by 9-0. The story doesn't change at all. It's still CLG red. You know what? I think, what was it? Round number 1? We saw the most amount of bodies go down on CLG red side, Sagidine. And was that 2?
I want to say, was it 2? I believe, it was, you're right. It was definitely 2. So there, now it's like tac 2. It's like 2. That's the number for the day, 2. The highest that Valve can count, 2. But, oh man, I just got to commend though. I'm an analyst fangirling over here, just like loving the crossfiring, the positioning that CLG Red was doing on the side, like where you have Goose Breeder just sitting over a ramp, but then you have already your teammate like angled in the right way. Despite you being smoked out, you feel confident enough that they can at least do the call outs, tell you the cross, they can spray through that smoke. And again, this is going to be one of those things where I felt like if Tourmaline just like felt more confident in their pushes there, especially if they had the rifles, they could have done that trades, because you already know where one was playing, which was over on ramp. If you lose a teammate to that a long kill, you should be able to trade out, because the rest of your team technically should have been following behind you. But we saw a bit of hesitation once again, where you still had 2 sitting over at cat while 2 were pushing in. And I understand you don't want to give that clown car setup to CLG Red, but
you should be their coach.
No. I'm not good enough to coach, but
I
you
don't know.
should still be able to be confident enough to like get those trades, because at this point, if the outcome is still going to be this way, you just want to try and at least get those damages done and be confident enough in getting those kills. But we're seeing this execute over onto B this time around. We so see those smokes come out. Need to wait for the timing a little bit, but that's fine as they're trying to push through. Now the smokes finally come out, but oh, the bodies on Tourmaline, Keg, it's just not there again.
Yeah, I like the setups that Tourmaline are bringing out. And now you're a much better analyst and, you know, despite what you say, future coach maybe for CS. It comes down to me that like there's a set plan in the early game, right? You know that everyone on Tourmaline's talking. They know where they want to execute and how they want to do it. But I just feel like, again, this pressure from CLG, once that's set up, look at the hesitation from the ones left alive on Tourmaline. They don't want to push through the molly. They don't want to trade out for Emmy. And now they're left on an island. I mean, luckily they have the bomb. They could still rotate through into B or roundabout mid to A, right? It's like the options are still there. But that playbook is not.
I mean, we're looking, okay, look at like this particular scenario that just played out, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
It's not like it's changed completely from the last 2 rounds that we've seen this happen when there is a push through these double doors. CLG Red will throw a molly through those doors, so you have to throw your smoke down, put that fire out, and then that's when you rush through. You don't just rush through burning your feet and giving them those kills, because then you're a lot easier to kill because you're already like at half health or something like that. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you a spicy question?
Sure.
Is it one player in particular that's allowing these strats for Tourmaline not to work? That's the hurtful question. Is it one specific player? Because I think the answer is no. I think it changes every round. Like No Water went down first, but I don't think she's always been playing entry.
Yeah, so it almost feels like the idea behind their strategies are like the fundamentals are there. It just needs to definitely be a little tighter. Because even something, like I said, as simple as we already know every time they push through double doors, that was the third time. Third time's not the charm. There's a molly always thrown. Put that fire out. And I feel like it's kind of similar. If they want to do that similar B execute that they did the last time, you have information this time around. The first time it may not have worked. Okay, fine. You know, reset, but now you understand someone plays on site, someone will play by the cars. So besides having to smoke out the double doors, we already know 2 play on site. That is a very useful information to make those adjustments on the fly if you want to try that execute again. And I think that's kind of where a lot of more experienced teams shine through, whereas like Tourmaline, who are, I would say, a lot newer to this, that's one of the things that they're going to have to learn as a team, is making those quick adjustments once you're familiar with that information, so that you can make that because the execute or the strategies aren't viable. Oh my gosh, it's just
oh no, Die. I was gonna compliment this push too. It was a 2-way push, but it ended the same exact way. Like you had so much map pressure being gained quickly by Tourmaline too, but in the end, I'm not quite sure how it happened. They all funneled inside the big doors and they just got taken down by Diana. But again, I mean, that speaks to the early game, right? I like Tourmaline's early game. They have the strategies, they know their playbook. It's just that mid round I feel like is the disaster zone.
Yeah, they need to make like those quick adjustments. See, we see that molly coming out once again, which it went a bit deep this time, but they don't have the guns to contest, so it's going to be hard. And the rest of Tourmaline just like sitting trapped out there. Molly number 2.
And that play from last round, right? The split push was after attack timeout as well. But this is the exact play we saw from Tourmaline's last eco before they went at attack timeout to go for that other play. So I'm not sure why they're reverting back again. Emmy's able to take down fundamentally everybody on this push again. And it's just leaving Rock on an island. She's the last one. She doesn't push in. And she's surrounded. There's no chance. Good for 1. Okay, take down Julie. It's not a flawless round, but it's a 13-0 flawless game for CLG Red.
That it is. Oh, this is going to be. Well, this is going to be a quick first map, it looks like, unless Tourmaline can really anchor it down.
Maybe they're CT.
But that's going to be a tall ask once the side switches, just because of how far. Oh, but that is good.
That's a huge power position.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, I mean, these leaders. He's like, hey,
okay,
I'm here. Hey,
okay,
hey.
Finding Kelsey. Okay, a good little bonus. Now, I feel like all the pressure's on Emmy, right? She's the closest to Tourmaline. Julie's by herself. If she misses a single shot and we see this well, okay, she doesn't miss her single shot, but there it is. If she has to move away really quickly, there was no follow-up from Tourmaline. That just buys more time for Emmy. She can push up from behind, go for a mini flank. And no one on Tourmaline's any wiser. She has her choosing who she wants to take down. She's a kid in a candy store. That's one. That's two. No, it's not two. But Julie, she's going to clean it up. She's going to take all the candy for herself. It's down to her. She gets the op shot.
Oh my God.
Now, Jundia. Remember, she found that very fundamental opening pick. The double J's. It's Julie versus Jundia. It's all down to this. And she has all the ground. I think Julie may be forced to stay. I mean, she's pretty much maxed out, right? She has so much cash to work with. But J versus J, this isn't looking good. Julie has to go for a straight shot. Look for info.
Oh my God.
Who finds the shot? Jundia caught off a timing. 14-0.
That was still around. It almost put a point.
That was good from
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline.
Yeah, that was. And I mean, look, it was at the reason because, like, what, CLG Red opted to not anchor their sights, have pushed. The push got punished, and it body swung in the favor of Tourmaline. Unfortunately, couldn't close it out in the end. But that's very good, like, to get those trades, to get those kills, like, initially, like, oh, there's a quick, push down middle, kill that person, and make those quick calls, quick rotations, flushing them out. Definitely good impact, but no.
No. Jundia making herself 0 for 2 against Julie.
And something we've learned here at this point is contesting mid, even with smoking Julie out, is very difficult. That I feel like I don't want to necessarily say they need to abandon it, but they can completely also just like smoke her out and ignore her at least, and at worst case lose one as they try to rush through short, perhaps.
They keep pushing in the Julie Sajidine.
Yeah, I mean, short's not smoked off. It's double doors, and you can't go down that route if you're not expecting to die.
This is what I was afraid of. That complete package, remember? Dust2, Mirage, Inferno. I mean, these are well-practiced maps for both teams, but you can see CLG Red, again, a very... I feel like CLG might, as an org, might be older than me. That's how long they've practiced Dust and Dust2.
It's very possible, but it is... Now the switch, perhaps Tourmaline can show us a bit of a magic at the half. We will find out after this quick break.
No stopping when I'm on the edge. No voices can get to my head. Feeling on top, feeling blessed. I can't wait for it, I can't wait for it.
One chance for the world, one hope can save us now. Our time for history. Brave hearts will win the day. Run strong all the way. It's time for you and me.
Hello, and we are back 15-0. CLG red on the good side of 15. Tourmaline, not so much. Sagidine, we were talking about during the break. For Tourmaline, this is gold for them to review afterwards, right? Both Dust2 and I'm assuming maybe even Mirage afterwards, right? CLG red, they're taking this seriously. They're putting out their strategies. They're doing their best. They're practicing and doing really well against Tourmaline, but in the future, this is huge for adaptation, and Tourmaline could really become a top-tier team and impact because of this game in the future.
In the future. For now, what I would like to see I wouldn't count it out. I suppose, like, what they could play a bit of giving up a site strategy, play on the retake as a team, perhaps. Right now, it's pistols. Personally, for me, I'm a really big fan of the CT-sided pistols with the USPS, and I mean, maybe not the P2K, but I'll still take the Glock over that one. But I do, and I think we're kind of seeing that here. Like, look, this is an all-5, hold down B, play retake on whatever site they end up in. It's 50-50. The 50-50 is not swinging in their favor. Happens to me all the time. It's all good. I feel like we're seeing like the stack and the potential, if they have any utility here on the side of CLG red. Oh, it's unfortunate of all the sides to not be in.
Yeah, it's a big gamble. This is why I don't gamble either. I always choose the losing team. It's a magical gift that I have. Luckily, though, or maybe not luckily, we're casters. We have the gift of the caster's curse. Maybe this is the chance for Tourmaline to get their first round on the board. This could be their chance to bring it home. Look at this about flank coming through from no water. She will meet the gaze of Julie, and well, Julie's taking the first pick. Good pick though from above. Thorea takes down Emmy, but from here it's just a slaughter fest. Everybody's looking for angles on another. Kelsey again hiding down below the lip of the top, and it's just all CLG, and it's over. All right, good job. CLG takes map number 1, 16-0 flawless. Bit of a fizzle out at the end.
Indeed. Yeah. Flawless. I mean, honestly, it's like you're looking at that round, and all I could think of right now is, man, I wonder if this would have still played out the same way if it was an A site stack for the side of Tourmaline, or if it would probably still be the same thing, just because CLG red, they're so clean and clear with their shots and their strategies and how like they want to push and aggressive.